Okay. Are you guys able to see the new portal?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So this is our brand new portal. Once we complete our training, I will talk to you, Dan, on setting you up with a username and password to get into the new portal, and then you can set up individual users on moving forward. So this is our new portal, and anytime when you guys need to get into the new portal, all you have to do is type in portal.aquafinance.com. And then it's going to take you into that section where it's going to ask you to enter your username and password. And I'll show you that in a little bit. But as you can see, this is our home page. In the front, it's going to let you know your most recent submitted applications. Then it's on the bottom here, it's going to show you all your activities on all your approved deals, any deals that are denied, any deals that are pending. We do have a filter section where you can check mark and decide what you want to see, and it's going to show you everything that's in pending or every deal that's in funding and so forth. On the top here, we do have tabs. We do have a promotion section. This here will give you a list of all your current promotions. So it's going to ask you to select the state. So we're going to go to Georgia. As of right now, it's going to show you calculators and browse. This is our calculator where you can actually enter in the sales price, any down payment, optional, then you can hit calculate, and you can go in revolving, and it's going to give you a list of all the current promotions that you can use for that deal or for that certain amount. So for you guys, for Dealer Ally, of course, you only have two promotions, the 11.99 and the 9.9, because this deal was over 5,400. That's why it's showing the 9.9. So we have that for you. We do have a browser. This section here is going to give you a list of all the current promotions that you can be offered to your customers. So it's going to give you a list here. We do have a resource section. Now, we're kind of starting to add some things to this. So this is where you're going to find all the training materials. Kaylee right now is still currently working on them and getting them added. So these will be added down the road. We have the admin section. This is where you're able to create usernames for sales reps. So if I click users here and click the dealer, this is where you're able to enter new sales reps information, create them a username and password. Now we do have roles. So we have three of them. A super user is able to have access to everything. They can see everything. They're the ones that have the admin control, that they're able to create the usernames and passwords for sales reps and activate them or inactivate them. A finance specialist, they're able to see everything, but the only thing that they will not have access to will be the admin. Only the super user have access to the admin. And then the sales rep is, they're only able to see the deals that they do, and that is it. We do have a resign application. So if one of your reps decides to leave the company and they have 4 deals in their profile, you can go in here and then you can reassign it to a different sales rep. And then we also have a dealer section. This section here is where you can click on and you could say, well, I don't want any of my reps to be selling the 12 months same as cash. You can uncheck it, save it. So when the sales reps goes in to create their forms, these are the only two promos that they're going to see, and that is it. Any questions on the admin part?
I have a quick question. With setting the permission per rep, will that auto-populate any of that rep's information into the application, such as their email address, name, that kind of stuff?
Kelly, do you know that?
Yeah. Their email address will come over when they do e-signature. But none of the other reps' information will carry over.
Thank you.
And then the last section up here, we do have view reports. So you can definitely go in here. We do have a performance tracking. So you can definitely type in the year, run report. It's going to have a complete breakdown, month to date, quarter, and year. It's going to let you know what's submitted, how many were approved, your approval rate, how many deals got funded, and so forth. We have an application summary. Now this here, I'm going to just run the report. It's going to let me know it's going to let you know your average buy rate, your look to book ratio, and your most popular promotions you use. So we have those for you. Back to the application center. So this is our home page. Anytime when you guys need to enter a new credit application, you're going to see this tab right here. Create new application. Once I click on it, it's going to bring you into the application center. So as you can see, so we're going to start from the top. I'm just going to create a name. So we're going to say Steve. So we're going to type in the address. So I'm going to go. As you can see, while I'm typing, it's already starting to fill in the information. If the information comes up, you can click on it and it will auto-populate. If nothing does come up, you're more than welcome to still keep typing in. So as I put that in, as you can see, it puts in the city, the zip, and the state. So we have all that information in there. And then we're going to enter the customer's email address. And then you're going to see primary phone number. And then you're going to select what type of it is, if it's home, sell, or work. So I'm going to keep it as sell. Then we're going to enter the Social Security number. And then it's going to ask for the birth date, date of birth, then the driving license. We're going to indicate what type of license. We're going to indicate the issue date. The expiration date. And the issue state. Employment, it's going to ask you to select one. You can do self-employed, unemployment, retired. I'm going to put employed. current employer, the number, and then you're going to indicate the start date, gross monthly income, you're going to indicate that. So I'm going to say 4,500. If there's going to be any additional source of income, you can check mark here, and it's going to ask for other source of income, investments, rental, retirement, or other. So I'm going to do rental. I'm going to say 450. And as you can see, it already added both of those up. If you wanted to add, if there's more additional income, you can definitely do that as well. Then it's going to ask for residence, own, rent, mobile home, the mortgage, payment, and if you have the information, you can enter the home value. So as you can see, all the information is filled in, and on the left side here, it kind of has a breakdown. For the co-op, it's kind of grayed out. So as on the bottom here, you can see add co-op. You can check mark that. Now it's not gray no more, and I can hit next, and then it's going to ask for the co-op's information. If we're not going to be adding a co-op, we'll leave that unchecked, and then we'll hit next. So for you guys do revolving only, so it's already set. You're going to indicate the contract state, the contract language, if it's English or Spanish. You're going to indicate the alarm systems. For you guys, you're going to have alarm systems and smart home package. So those are the two options. You're going to indicate the selling price. So I'm going to say $2,000. Is the customer putting any down payment? No, we're going to leave that blank. If you want to enter the sales tax, you can definitely do so if you like. Here, you would always keep it at 2%. This part really doesn't matter because once you do have your approval, when you create the forms, you're going to indicate what promotion you plan on doing. And this is going to be your estimated install date. So I'm going to say November 10th.
What are the options on payment factor there that the rep will see?
Yeah, you're going to see 2 or 2.5. Yeah.
Those don't look like the payment factors that we're used to seeing. How come they're seeing 2 different payment factors than what our promotion offers?
Well, because this is only for an approval, and it's on all of our contracts, all of our applications as a 2 or 2.5. But when you actually get your approval, because you're with Dealer Ally, you do have special promos, and that's where you're going to indicate that lower payment factor. That's why I mentioned for this part, you do not have to worry about, because once you do have your approval, you're going to indicate the promotion.
Okay.
Yep. So as you can see, now the next button is going to say Review Application. So it's going to show you everything that you filled in. If for some reason, like, oh, I put the wrong phone number in, you can actually click Edit, and it's going to take you back to that number and say, oh, this is supposed to be a 2. And then you can go back, hit Confirm, and it will take you back into your updated. So everything looks correct. We're going to check mark here, Application Authorization, and then we're going to hit Finish and Submit Application. So as you can see, it shows Steve Huffman. It's showing processing. So basically, within a minute, it's going to give you an answer right away if the customer is approved or not. Like we had our training in the past, if it goes into pending, that just means the credit department has to take a little closer look at it and should change and give you an answer within 30 minutes to an hour. But if you are at the customer's home and it goes into pending and you would like to get an answer on that right away, you're more than welcome to call in to the credit department and say, hey, this application's been pending. Can you give me an answer on this right away? That way they can take a look at it and get you an answer.
Now, Andy, if
for,
during the application
yeah.
process, if they forget to fill something in that's required, will it just automatically tell them you need to go back and fill this in?
Yes, if they're missing something, like whatever it may be, I'll actually go back in here because there's actually the blue dots need to be filled in. So if they're missing whatever dot, when they hit submit, it's going to actually bring them back and it shows the red letters and say, hey, you're missing in this section. Then they'll go back and fill it in.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Yep. That one's still processing. While that's processing, I'm just going to jump into this section here. So as you can see, it shows Steve Huffman, still processing, but I'm going to create the forms under Andrew Coffeen. So as you can see, it's approved, 91%. You can actually click here to do the paperwork if you like, or another way you can create the paperwork is just by clicking Andrew Coffeen. So once I click on Andrew Coffeen, it's going to have a complete breakdown of the customer's application. It's going to show the approval rate of 91%. I already created the paperwork on this deal, but I will walk you through with a different customer on creating the paperwork. But right here, this section, if the customer did have a buy rate, we give you the options on the down payment to get the buy rate bumped up a little bit. Right here would be any stipulations that are required. Because this paperwork was done, it lets you know what promotion was used. It tells you, okay, for this deal, we used the 9.9 on a $3,500 finance amount. Their minimum monthly payment is $44. The one thing I do like is right here. It lets you know what you're getting funded. So when this deal gets funded, you're getting funded $3,010 because it shows the customer risk and the promo that you use and no ACH. So this whole deal costs $490.
Dan, you might know the answer to this. What happens with the down payment?
What was that?
What happens with the down payment amount? It's showing that we're funding at $3,010. Is the down payment amount just not included in that funding, but it's still funded back to us, or how's that work?
So the down payment, you get to keep the down payment. That's yours to keep. When you're creating the forms, and I'll show you that, that's where you're going to indicate that down payment. Like it shows this deal, the original price was $4,000. When we create the forms, we're going to indicate that $500 down payment. So the amount financed was $3,500.
And then so that the $3,010 is 91% of the $3,500.
Correct, plus the promotion fee as well. Because that promotion, the 9.9, is a 5% dealer fee.
Promotion fee, what, the 175?
Yes.
I've never heard of it.
the 9.9 APR.
So if we use the 11.9, we wouldn't have that promotion fee?
Yes, you will. Because for Dealer Ally, I can pull this up right here. These are all your current promotions that you have right now. You have the 11.99 and it's a 5% fee. Anything over 3,500, then you have the option to go with the 9.9.
Gotcha. So it's just the 5% Dealer Ally fee.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. So
yep.
So the 91% is before the 5% Dealer Ally fee. So it's really like 86% funding.
That is correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Can you go back to that real quick? I saw another fee on there.
Yeah.
Curious about. What's the risk fee?
That is your 91%, your buy rate.
I got you. Okay. Perfect.
Yep. So this one's still processing. It looks like we're having some issues. So we'll just go ahead and create the paperwork on one of these test ones. So I'm just going to say Tim Huffman. So we can click on Tim Huffman to create the paperwork, or you can click right here, paperwork. So it's really up to you. So I'm just going to click there. So it gives you all this information.
Andy, I'm sorry, will the sales reps see this as well on their customers? Are they going to see the selling price and the funding amount to the dealer and have this breakdown as well?
I think there's a way we can turn that off. Ain't that right, Kaylee? I'm pretty sure.
I'm sorry. Someone came over at my desk. One more time? What do we want to turn off?
The sales reps won't see the breakdown, the buy rates, and so forth.
Yeah, you can turn all that off in the admin section. You can make it so your sales reps don't see any fees or don't see the buy rates or both, whichever preference. Right, those checkboxes to the right. Nope, don't click on the dealer. Go back one page. Right to the right of the table, there's hide dealer fees and hide approval rates.
So if we just do dealer fees, they will see the percentage, but they won't see the breakdown.
Correct. So you can either, yep, no problem.
It looks like if you hide the approval rates, I think that would hide the percentage, wouldn't it?
Yes,
that'll hide the buy rate percentage, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
Andy, if you want to uncheck hide approval rates, and then go back to that detail page, and you can kind of see what that looks like.
Okay. Then application. So now it's gone.
Perfect.
Yep. So yeah, then we're going to click on create paperwork. And when you do that, it's going to take you, excuse me, to the review application again. Just to make sure, you just want to go through it, make sure all the information is correct. If you need to do any editing, you can definitely do so. Once you indicate everything looks good, we're going to hit next. This is where you're going to keep it on revolving, make sure the contract state, if you want the contract in English or Spanish. You're going to type in the products, the description of goods, the quantity, the price. All this information is already going to be filled in. So for example, just say if the customer did have a buy rate and you want to get that buy rate bumped up, this is right here. You're going to indicate that buy rate. So I'm just going to say, okay, the customer's putting $700 down. So as you can see, it's going to take that original price, and subtract that down payment. So as you can see on the bottom here, it shows your total finance amount of $4,800. If you want to enter the sales tax, you can definitely do that. And then on the bottom here, this is where you're going to indicate the promotion that you would like to offer that customer. Now, if this deal was under $3,500, the only option you're going to see is the $11.99. Because this deal is over $3,500, it's giving you both options. So I'm going to do the 9.9. Then it's going to show you the payment factor. And once you have that, it's going to show you both the 9.9 APRs. So you can do the 9.9 with the 1.25, or you can do the 9.9 with 1.25 with the 12 months, same as cash. And then you're just going to click on and select which one that you plan on doing. So I want to add that 12 months, same as cash. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to hit next. Is the customer putting the ACH? This is where you're going to check mark if the customer wants to do ACH. So I'm going to say yes. This section here, a lot of the information you do not have to fill in on this top part. The only information you're going to have to enter would be like in the past, the bank's name.
Andy, quick question.
Yeah.
Back at the top there where it says monthly payment amount, if we want to make the monthly payment amount more than the minimum payment, could we enter it here and have them build that amount?
That part, I always say you would want to do that during verification when the customer gets a call to do the verification. That's when they would want to indicate if they want to increase their amount. Another option you can do is put the minimum on there, and the customer is more than welcome, like within like a month later, to have them call in and change it as well.
But by putting it here on this monthly payment amount, that won't automatically have them build more than the minimum?
Kelly, do you know that answer?
No, they will not be billed more than the minimum. They will be like, if it's an automatic payment, so the automatic payment will be more than their minimum, but their bill is still going to reflect the minimum monthly payment associated with the program.
Just so I'm clear, if I put in a payment amount here that would have them paying off this loan in 60 months, that the amount that I put in this box is what will automatically come out of their bank account.
Correct. That's what you're setting up here, is the automatic monthly payment. They're still on their billing statement going to show that minimum, but what is actually withdrawn is what you indicate here. Now, we do confirm this during verification, so if they need to make any changes at that point, we can. But if they're good with what you guys enter here, that's what will be withdrawn from their account.
Perfect. Thank you.
Enter the routing number, select automatic withdrawals from checking or savings, and then you're going to indicate the account number. So once you have that information, we're going to hit next to the completion. Is this project completed? No. We're going to hit no because the job has not been done yet, and we only want them to fill out the contracts only. Then it's going to ask for the estimated completion date. And then we're going to hit signature. So right here in this section, you're going to tell it if you want to do a hard copy or if you would like to do the e-signature. If you click no on electronic, it's going to take you to the signature date. This is going to be the date that they sign these documents. So if you're going to print them out and you know you ain't going to see the customer until the 30th, you want to make sure you indicated for the 30th. And then hit next. It's going to give you a review, and then you hit submit, and it's going to create that PDF file for you to print out the hard copy on the documents. For you guys, I know you guys do a lot of e-signature, correct?
Yeah, it would be mostly e-signature.
Okay. So for the most part, you guys are going to keep that yes. Sign documents by email. So if you click yes, that's telling it you're going to be emailing it to the customer. If you click no, that means it's going to be an in-house e-signing. Then you're going to indicate individual. It's going to ask for the dealer's email, confirm email. All that information is already going to be filled in. It's going to automatically have Tim's information as well. And then we're going to hit next.
Quick, Andy.
Yeah.
Up there where it said signature with, it said with spouse, individual with spouse, and then without spouse, I think. What were the options? Can you go back one time?
Yeah. I might have to go back, but that's all right. Yeah, right here.
Yep. So it says individual joint with spouse, and then joint with non-spouse. So what would be the situation where it would be joint with non-spouse? Is that someone who also owns the house, but is not, they're not married, or are they eligible to put a cosigner on this application who does not own the property?
Both. Ain't that right, Kaylee? As long as the applicant owns a house, they can add a co-app, if it's a relative or if it's a non-spouse, girlfriend. Yeah.
Typically, they have to live in the home. Occasionally, credit will make exceptions on that, but it's on a case-by-case basis.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Once I hit review next, all the information is going to be on here. It's going to let you know what their monthly payment is going to be, their minimum, and so forth. So on the bottom here, it shows you what we're doing. So as of right now, we're just doing the loan completion to send to the customer as an in-house e-sign. The automatic payment form is unhighlighted, and the loan completion is unhighlighted as well because the job has not been done yet. So we're going to click on submit for e-signing, and as you can see, it's going to tell you creating documents, and the documents will pull up like it did in the past. And then they're going to sign off like they did before, and it's just going to walk them through all the documents. Hit finish, co-op next, and then to the dealer, then to us. Now, once a job has been completed, and you want the customer to do the e-signing on the completion form, you can actually come back in here, and now you can see where it says create paperwork. There's an arrow down. So we can send them the loan completion certificate only through e-signing, or you do have the option to download a blank additional form. So say you want to do the hard copy on the completion form, you can click on download, click here, loan completion, download it, and then the document will pull up right here on the bottom. For you to print out and do.
There's a way to pull that up, e-sign, correct? For the technician on site?
Yep. So you would click create paperwork, the down arrow, and we're going to click here, loan completion certificate only. We're going to click on that. Is the project done? Yes. Project's the same address? Yes. Sign documents electronically, which we're doing. Through email, no, because you said that the rep will have it. And all this information will be already filled. I'm going to hit submit, and then the document will pull up to do an in-house e-sign. And then they can sign off right here and then done.
Perfect. Now, whatever email address that we put in for the rep or for the tech there, that's where a copy of this stuff is going to be sent off to. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Is it possible for us to have a company email address auto-populate there so that it's going to one location as assigned to each individual rep so we can store it for company file information?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I mean, if you guys... Oh, go ahead, Kaylee.
In order to do that, you would have to create the users with one email address. Now, you can do that, but doing that would mean any password reset request or anything would go to that email address.
And we wouldn't be able to do permissions, correct?
You'd still be able to do the permissions, so like set up the sales rep roles and all that. You just wouldn't, like if they forgot their password or something like that, they'd have to go through you versus being able to do that password reset function.
Okay, so if we set up every rep with one email address and different passwords, they would still be able to have the permission for them to have, but all documents would go to one location, and if there was a password reset request, it would go to that one person who has access to that one email address.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
The one thing I will mention, if you're doing it through email, when you're doing e-signature, one thing it's not going to ask you is a remote access code anymore. It automatically creates one for the customer. Basically, when they receive their email, it's going to tell them what their remote access code is. It's going to say, please enter your last name and your last 4 digits of your social security number. And that's how they're going to get in. And the co-app, if there is one, is going to be the exact same thing. Now for the dealer, if you do it through email, it's going to ask for the 9-digit dealer number and the first initial and of the application and their initial last name. Yeah, first and the last initial. And that's how you're going to get in. And to find your dealer number, at the dealer homepage here, you can actually click on any of the customers' names. And there it's going to show you your dealer number right here. And you got to include that period.
For signatures.
What was that?
Is that just to access that document via email, or is it just to get signatures on that document?
Yeah, to get access to that email if you're emailing it to the customer. If you're in the home with the customer, then it's not required. It's only when you email it to them.
And so if we email it to the customer, it will tell them what their access code is. And what did you say it was? What was their access code? It's
going to be their last name and then the 4 digits of their social security number.
The last 4, I assume.
Yep. And then if there's a co-op, the exact same thing. And for the dealer, it's going to be the 9-digit dealer number and the first initial of the applicant's first name and the first initial of their last name.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. And that's all I have for you, unless you guys have any additional questions.
Yeah, I was curious, is there any reporting capability out of this new portal? Any reports?
Reports?
Yeah, like I don't know if you have, just any way to export data.
Yeah, like once you log into the portal here, we do have a view report section. You can do performance tracking or application summary. You can type in the year, run report, then it has a complete breakdown. Hey, Kaylee, is this exporting where you can export it to a spreadsheet?
So you can export it to a spreadsheet, but this is what you're exporting. It's not going to give you detailed breakdowns. For that kind of reporting, you'll still have to work with Andy to get that.
Gotcha. Okay.
How soon do you guys think that we could get a like a PDF training document similar to the one you guys sent on using the old portal in terms of setting up a customer? I'd like to see kind of a PDF document of page by page that shows, the process of creating a customer, and then also one for the technicians on creating the completion certificate. Do you guys think you can put that together for us, and what's the time frame for that? Or do you already have it?
I'm not going to lie. At this point, we're focusing on the training videos. I'm actually working on getting those published and out either today or tomorrow. Once those training videos are out, then we'll start working on those PDFs. But at this point, there's nothing created and as far as those go. So the earliest would be beginning of next week.
But you're planning on videos maybe today or tomorrow?
Yep, the video should be up in the resource section. I'm hoping either by end of day today or tomorrow.
Well, that's fantastic. That'll suffice. How quickly can we get our logins to be able to start setting this up? I have a training today at 2 p.m. with all the reps. I'd like to be able to train them on this if possible.
Oh yeah, we can do it right now. Once we're done with this, you and I can talk and create you a username and password. I will mention to you guys one thing, just throwing it out there. You do have access to the new portal, and if for some odd reason, something goes wrong, you're still able to go back into your old portal that you're currently using now and create documents if need be, if something goes wrong with the new portal. Not saying it will, but just as a FYI type deal.
Yeah, always good to have a backup.
So with this portal, would you guys be open? So we're using a couple of different systems. We use Security Tracks and a system called Sales Rabbit. And what would be really cool is if we could integrate this portal with those systems so that we can cut down on double data entry. Is that something that that would be possible to do with this portal?
Are you talking about Dealer Ally system?
Well, I guess either or. Is the plan to integrate this with Dealer Ally's portal?
Yeah. Yep, that's in the pipeline. So I don't have a time frame as of yet, but it is being worked on actively.
Okay. Yeah, I guess my question is, so that's obviously on the funding side. I was actually more thinking about like the customer data entry side, so that we wouldn't have to.
That as well.
Okay. Sounds good. So we can talk to like Sales Rabbit and Security Tracks about that, and possibly just integrating directly with this. That would be awesome. Okay.
Is there any other questions for to create your
No,
username and password for the portal?
I just want to say that this portal is definitely a lot cleaner. You guys did a great job with it. I'm very excited to use it. And hopefully, like Dan said, down the road, we can start doing an API and make things a little more seamless. I think, Dan, the next step is for you to go ahead and get your permissions into this thing and get your username and password, and then set me up as well so I can start adding the reps before my training call today.
Gotcha. Clint, do you want to just have that super user directly, or do you want me to?
Yeah, I think we can have full super users. So I think that you, myself, and Dwayne probably all need that access, and then I can go in and actually create the reps.
Okay, so why don't we just set up your super user today, Clint? So then you can, like, I don't have to set it up. I think if we just set you up as a super user today, then you can just start going in and creating your rep access. Does that make sense?
That works for me.
Okay. So Clint, do you just want me to give you a call?
Yeah, you can give me a call after this. That works for me.
Okay. Do you have your direct number? That way I can just give you a shout there.
Absolutely. It's 240-344-9661.
9661. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely give you a call. And yeah, moving forward, you know, if any questions do come up on the new portal, you're more than welcome to give me a call, Kaylee a call, or Kramer. We kind of have all access to the new portal, and we can help you out.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much for your time, Andy. I appreciate it. Thank you both.
You're welcome.
Good. Thanks, guys.
I'll call you in a minute, Clint.
That works. Andy. I'll
Thanks,
talk to you soon. Thanks.
Bye.